What do you know? Jericho interferes in Kevin Owens' AJ. Got SmackDown. Turn the sound off. Anyways. SmackDown. It's not important. It's about to end. I said on Twitter a little while ago I was not tweeting tonight's SmackDown because I needed a break. I've tweeted probably over 1,000 WWE shows since 2011 on Twitter, live tweeting them. So I deserve a night off. Anyways, and I had some other stuff to do with my girlfriend. Anyways, I wanted to make this video. This was some breaking news I read in the morning when I was not home. Read it on my phone. And I couldn't get home to do this video earlier. And I wanted to, but I couldn't. Anyways, now I can. This video is about Sting in TMZ Sports. Putting it up on, I guess, on their website or wherever they put it up. TMZ Sports has reported that Sting, the icon Sting, longtime WCW franchise top star in WCW, Sting, is retiring at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. Sting is going to announce his retirement. It is being said and reported on by TMZ Sports, and I don't know about TMZ if they did. But how credible is TMZ Sports? How truthful is this report? I don't really know, but it's not hard to believe that Sting would retire because he's up there in age and he's done everything there is to do in wrestling. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked that Sting would retire in 2016 at the Hall of Fame. Or I don't know if he's going to announce it at the Hall of Fame that he is retiring and he's wrestled his last match in the WWE, because I'm pretty sure Sting has wrestled his last match in the WWE. And let me just check on some. I don't know what the hell went on with this stupid DVD player. Anyways, I was getting distracted. So Sting will probably announce during his Hall of Fame speech that he has wrestled his last match. Sting is retiring from the ring. The guy has had an epic career. He's had one of the greatest careers ever. In my opinion, one of the greatest careers ever in wrestling Sting has had. The guy was in WCW for years and years and years. He was a franchise of that company. He was a face of WCW. Then he went to TNA in 2006. He was there before in 2004 for one pay-per-view. Their 1-year anniversary pay-per-view. Anyways, Sting came back full-time in 2006 to TNA, and he stayed there for a very long time. Until, I think, 2013 or 2014. And then, of course, at the end of 2014, he debuted in the WWE. Now, I'm not surprised that Sting is going to announce his retirement because he was told by doctors, he was told by a specialist that he has the same neck injury, the exact same neck injury that Edge. Sting has the exact same neck injury, the exact same thing wrong with his spine that Edge had, and that forced Edge to retire. That's what Sting has. So it's called spinal something. Something to do with his spinal cord and his neck. So, and the doctors have told Sting, I'm sure that he's met with them once or twice, and they've told him it's too risky to wrestle again. at his age, and it's too risky to take bumps because he could end up paralyzed. So that Edge retired in 2011 because of this injury. Sting has the same injury. According to TMZ Sports, he has the same injury that Edge had, and that forced Edge to retire early, because I believe Edge was only in his upper 30s. So that is pretty young to be retiring from wrestling. But good for Edge. He wants to live a happy, healthy life for the rest of his life. He has a family. He has a kid. He has a wife. I believe his wife is Beth Phoenix. So I'm happy for Edge that he's retired and he can still do a lot of great stuff in the entertainment world. He can keep making movies, keep doing TV shows, acting, even be put in some WWE films, movies, and maybe do more work on the WWE Network. And maybe there'll be a season 2 of the Edge and Christian show. But this video is about Sting and the announcement that he will be retiring at the Hall of Fame. This, as I said, I expected this would come, but the way that he had to leave the ring and leave the WWE and never wrestle again in the WWE is pretty sad. And it's pretty depressing how Sting's WWE run was handled. It's pretty depressing if you think about what has happened. He came in at Survivor Series 2014, great debut. He did great stuff. He dropped Triple H on his head. That was a great debut. But then, in my opinion, WWE dropped the ball with Sting and his character and what they should do with him at WrestleMania 31. They should have built Sting versus The Undertaker. It should have happened. It really should have happened at WrestleMania 31. It should have been Sting versus The Undertaker. Because Sting and Triple H, it was a good match, but I would have rather seen Sting versus Undertaker for the first time ever. And it would have been a big match at WrestleMania. Sting's first WrestleMania. He could have lost to The Undertaker. I wouldn't have cared. I was kind of pissed when Sting lost to Triple H. When it happened, I was pretty upset. And I thought it was wrong. But I got over it very fast. Because this business is a work. If you're told, I'm sure Sting did not care that he was going to lose to Triple H. He just wanted to work a WrestleMania. And I wanted Sting very badly. I wanted Sting to work a WrestleMania and come to the WWE to experience a WrestleMania event. And I got my wish. Sting did get to work a WrestleMania. But I didn't care he lost to Triple H, because I'm sure Sting had no problem with it, because wins and losses really don't matter that much. Especially if they're not for titles. So, I would have liked to see Sting come to the WWE in 2001 when the invasion angle was happening, but he wasn't going to come then because he had a contract with AOL Time Warner. So then in 2002, they could have brought Sting in, and I would have liked to see Sting in the WWE in 2002. But maybe he wouldn't have fit in well with the ruthless aggression era. Maybe Sting wouldn't have fit in well at all because he was a Christian, born again Christian. But Shawn Michaels came back in summer of 2002 and he worked, and he didn't have a problem with how TV was not PG at the time. Shawn Michaels had no problem with it, and he just, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess he didn't let his born-again Christianity, he didn't let it get in the way of his job. And he didn't mix them together. He just did his job, wrestled, and went home. I'm sure prayed and went to church and was a good Christian. I'm happy for Shawn Michaels that he changed his life and found religion. Good for him. Sting also found religion, I believe in late 98 or 99. He found religion because his life was pretty out of control and he was partying too much. Anyways, this isn't about Shawn Michaels or Sting's religion. They could be any religion they want to be. It doesn't bother me. This is about I wish Sting would have came to WWE before 2014. Maybe then he could have worked a program with The Undertaker. I still think Sting should have worked with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 31. And they could have Bray Wyatt versus Triple H. And then Taker versus Sting. But now we're not going to get to ever see Taker versus Sting. And that's pretty sad. Taker can still go. And if Sting was healthy, he could still go. But Sting is 56 years old. And sadly, his last match ever, sadly, was at Night of Champions. Last year, 2015. WWE Night of Champions, Sting went up against Seth Rollins. And I am not blaming Seth Rollins. Not blaming Seth at all. Because, I mean, Seth Rollins has done that powerbomb in the corner to many guys before. Many guys. He's done that powerbomb to. And they didn't get injured like Sting and have a broken neck and messed up spinal cord. But something went wrong. I think the first powerbomb Seth did to Sting, he was okay. But then he did it a second time. For some reason, he did it a second time. And then Sting got injured and said he couldn't feel his legs. Couldn't get his legs under him. Could hardly stand. And he just felt like he lost feeling in his legs and his entire body. And his arms and fingers and hands. But then the feeling came back in his arms and legs, but I'm not sure it really came back fully before the match was over. So you could tell after the match, and right before it ended, you could tell that something was really wrong with Sting. Something was not right with the Stinger, that he was injured. And you cannot blame Seth Rollins. If you blame Seth, you're stupid, because it wasn't Seth Rollins' fault. It wasn't his fault. But it's just a sad, sad way for Sting to end his wrestling career. I'm sure he's not upset about it because he did get to work WrestleMania. He did get to work in the WWE finally, and he had a legendary career in WCW, and he had a good run in TNA. TNA used Sting a little bit too much, putting him on TV, but whatever. That's a different story that I won't talk about. But, in my opinion, TNA used Sting better than WWE did. But TNA overexposed Sting and they had him on TV too much. Sting should have been booked like a special attraction, and TNA didn't do that. They booked him like he was a full-time regular wrestler, which was kind of stupid. Pretty damn stupid. So I'm not going to remember Sting for his Seth Rollins match. That is not how I will remember Sting. I will remember him from his WCW days, and when he won the world title in 1990 at the Great American Bash. I will remember Sting for his crow gimmick, turning into the crow, into a silent assassin where he would not speak for over a year, or a year and a half. He would not speak. He just came down to the ring, was chasing the NWO, dropping them on their heads, beating them with his bat, and then he finally wrestled and won the title against Hogan at Starrcade 97. I will remember Sting for coming to TNA, having a great run, winning the world title at Bound for Glory 2006, Bound for Glory 2007, and Bound for Glory 2000, I think 8 or 9. He won the world title. I believe he's a 5 or 6 time TNA world champion. So he had a good run in TNA. And then he changed his gimmick and became the Joker Sting. That was great. That was memorable. He did great work as a Joker Sting. I mean, I'm happy Sting got a WrestleMania moment. He deserved it. But the best thing the WWE did with Sting was having him debut. That was a highlight of Sting's WWE career, was having him debut at Survivor Series. And what they did with him and how they used him, that was the right way to use Sting. And then WrestleMania 31 was also a highlight, because the highlight of WrestleMania 31 for me was Sting walking down to the ring. That was a highlight. That was a big moment for me to see that. It was great. And then seeing Sting at the end of the match, having Sting on camera standing next to the original NWO. The original 3 members of the NWO, Sting was standing side by side with Hogan, Hall, and Nash. That was a great moment. So, Sting is at a legendary career. The man deserves to retire and deserves to be happy and be off the road for good. He's done it all. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I grew up as a kid, I grew up idolizing Sting and Hogan, but I really, really was a big-time Sting fan. I was a huge Sting fan when I was a kid, and I still am. So Sting, you deserve it to retire. You deserve to go on the WWE Hall of Fame. Thank you, Sting, for everything. Thank you, Sting.